This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. President-elect Donald Trump is just days away now from being sworn in as the 45th President of the United States. And he's currently engaged in a war of words with the intelligence community and a civil rights icon. At the same time, Trump says his team is in the final stages of drafting a replacement for Obamacare. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has more from Washington.
On this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President-elect Donald Trump meets with the son of the civil rights icon as the Trump feud with Georgia Congressman John Lewis continues to simmer.
I think the Russians participated in helping this man get elected.
Trump firing back at Georgia Congressman John Lewis on Twitter, saying Lewis is all talk, 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 no action. The barrage of Trump's tweets stirring up bipartisan support for Lewis, a civil rights leader who became nationally known for his prominent role in the Selma to Montgomery marches in the 1960s, fighting for civil rights alongside Martin Luther King Jr. Today, Lewis making his first appearance since the dust-up.
When you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, you have a moral obligation to do something, to say something, and not be quiet.
Lewis is now leading a new movement among Democrats in Congress.
I don't plan to attend the inauguration. It would be the first one that I miss since I've been in the Congress.
Now at least 27 Democrats in Congress say they will also skip out on the inauguration. But over the weekend, Trump shifting his attention to the CIA after these comments from CIA Director John Brennan about the Russians' hack into the 2016 presidential election.
What I think Mr. Trump has to understand is that this is more than being about him. And it's about the United States and our national security.
Trump tweeting, quote, "Was this the leaker of fake news?" And as we get closer to Inauguration Day, Trump tells the Washington Post he's finalizing an Obamacare replacement plan to provide health care for everyone, with still no details on how that will happen. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
The president-elect also taking steps to keep his campaign promise to help strengthen the economic status of minority communities. Trump recently outlined a 10-point plan to improve education, lower inner-city crime rates, and reform tax codes. Local minority leaders say it's a start, while others say it's time to give Trump a chance.
I hope that he has someone in his circle that will advise him and encourage him to engage the black community. I think there's a lot of making up to do.
We need to stop using race to further political agendas and do what's right for all Americans.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, we'll hear from both pro-Trump and anti-Trump members of the community to talk about how race relations will change under Trump's administration. Now back to the major announcement. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus deciding to close the circus later this year. After nearly 150 years in show business, Ringling Brothers says the greatest show on earth is closing down. Feld Entertainment, owner of the iconic circus, broke the news to circus employees on Saturday. The company says the reasons include declining ticket sales, high operating costs, changing public taste in entertainment, and prolonged battles with animal rights groups.
Last year, after we retired the elephants from the touring units, we saw a much steeper drop in sales. No longer able to see this as a sustainable business model.
The company says they'd like to find a way for people to see the elephants, whether it's in their current sanctuary in Central Florida or at another location. The company says it will work with the 400 employees currently involved with the circus to help them transition to something else. The announcement that its circus shows are coming to an end is particularly difficult for talented people who worked in the ring. A former circus performer in Ohio is sharing his memories of what life was like under the big top. Roseanne Aragon has the story.
96 and 97, I dropped out of college actually to join the circus. So ran away to join the circus, and thousands of people applied. 30 people got in, 10 people got a job. And I was lucky to get a job.
A job doing the impossible for the greatest show on earth. At 21, Paul Miller joined the Ringling Brothers Circus. He was the clown on the bike. This was the start of his career.
It was a live band, and you performed for thousands and thousands of people, and it was incredible.
The beauty of the circus coming to town.
People don't realize that's the first time people would see the light bulb or an automobile or any of the animals. Like schools would close, banks would close. When the circus came to town, everything stopped.
But after 146 years of entertainment, the curtain is set to close forever. Feld Entertainment announced Saturday the 250 to 300 cast members will take their final bow in May.
It's terrible for the people that lost their jobs. I mean, they're going to have to retool and figure it out. And they're nomadic. A lot of them don't have homes.
Miller's early experience with the circus inspired him to open his own school, Circus Mojo, working to bring oohs and ahs through entertainment, education, and community development. He says the business will evolve.
If you want to be in the circus, you can make circus happen. The show must go on, and that's what they say, and that will continue.
And a former circus performer here on the Suncoast is also sharing his thoughts about the Ringling Circus closing down. Jackie LeClaire started traveling with the Ringling Brothers when he was only a year old. His father was a Ringling Brothers clown for 35 years, and Jackie took up the mantle for 20 years himself. Now, at 89 years of age, LeClaire is heartbroken to see this happen during his lifetime.
It's almost like losing a religion. Like all of a sudden somebody would say, no, that religion's gone. No, you're not going to have that anymore. That's how much we loved Ringling Brothers and Bonham and Bailey Circus, and it just won't be there anymore. It just won't.
Jackie LeClaire was one of many retired performers who live here on the Suncoast. Now, you can spot our ties to the circus business across the Suncoast. One big piece of circus history, the John and Mabel Ringling Museum of Art. It was established way back in 1927 as a legacy of Mabel and John Ringling for the people of Florida. It holds a collection of more than 10,000 pieces from ancient through contemporary periods and from around the world. Inside the Circus Museum, a countless number of circus artifacts, old posters, costumes, a circus train, props, and so much more are there. And the Cottazon is the winter home of John Ringling and his wife Mabel. It was built in 1926 and restored in 2002. There's also the Ringling College of Art and Design, Ringling Boulevard in Sarasota, the bridge, and much more named in his honor. All right, let's get another check on the weather. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan keeping track of all that for us tonight.
That's right.
Bob?
Sad to see it go, Scott. I know my wife's grandmother was a Ringling clown years ago here as well. So a lot of history right here along the Suncoast. And on top of that, I remember going to a Ringling Barnum and Bailey's circus performance in Toledo, Ohio, at the Toledo Sports Arena when I was about 7 years old. My dad took us there. 77 degrees right now. We have fair skies. The dew point is at 59. Humidity at 54%. We have an east to southeast wind now at 13. The pressure way up there, 30-21. High pressure still is anchored to the east of the United States, and that's bringing us that east to southeasterly wind flow. It's also bringing warm, moist air, and it's overriding this colder air, causing all sorts of headaches with an ice storm. It continues. It was over the central U.S. Now it's moving into the upper Mississippi Valley. More on our forecast coming up in a few minutes. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. Family, friends, and law enforcement are remembering a Florida sheriff's deputy killed in the line of duty. A funeral service for Orange County Deputy First Class Norman Lewis held this afternoon at Murdoch Baptist Church in Port Charlotte. Deputy Lewis graduated from Port Charlotte High School. His parents still live in the area. Lewis was killed in a motorcycle crash last week while searching for suspected cop killer Markeith Lloyd. Lloyd, who is still on the run, is accused of killing his pregnant ex-girlfriend and her unborn child back in December. Lloyd now accused of killing an Orlando police master sergeant who tried to catch him last week. Deputy Lewis was also remembered by thousands of mourners at an Orlando church yesterday. New developments tonight involving the massacre at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. The FBI has arrested the wife of the shooter. Noor Salman was taken into custody this morning in San Francisco area and is due in court tomorrow in California. She's facing charges here in Florida, including obstruction of justice. Salman moved to the San Francisco area after her husband, Omar Mateen, was killed in a shootout with police. During that June 12th massacre at the Pulse nightclub, 49 people were killed. Mateen pledged allegiance to the Islamic State group during the standoff. Authorities in Mexico are investigating a deadly nightclub shooting. A gunman opened fire in front of the Blue Parrot Club early this morning, killing 5 people. Video captures clubgoers frantically rushing into the street as rescuers arrived on scene there in Cancun. The shooting broke out at the BPM Festival in Playa del Carmen. The electronic music festival drew visitors from around the world to the beach resort city. 3 members of the event's security team were killed trying to protect the patrons inside. A dozen others were injured. Authorities are still trying to determine who was behind the shooting. The last astronaut to walk on the moon has died. Gene Cernan was 82 years old. NASA announced Cernan died Monday, surrounded by his family. Cernan and Apollo 17 crewmate Harrison Schmitt spent 3 days on the moon in December of 1972. As he followed Schmitt into the lunar lander for the return home, he offered a message of peace and hope for all mankind. He also traced the initials of his 9-year-old daughter into the dust of the lunar surface. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, more bad news for the circus business, why the Big Apple Circus is now auctioning off its assets. We'll have that story coming up.
Just go do it. Go do it. If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Wouldn't it be great if you had a sofa covered in fabric that's kid-proof? Now you can! Introducing Kid-Proof by Row, now at Bacon's Furniture. For a limited time only, save 40% off Kids-Proof sofas at Bacon. Just look for the little green hand and select from hundreds of different fabrics that resist almost anything life throws at it. Some fabrics repel liquid, and all the amazing styles and comfortable fabrics are easy to clean. Kid-Proof sofas, now 40% off at Bacon's Furniture in Sarasota.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair. Where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500, starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
The prevalence of high blood pressure in African Americans is the highest in the world. That's according to the American Heart Association. ABC7's Alex Redmond has information on medical conditions that disproportionately affect the African American community. Alex?
Thanks, Scott. We know by virtue of our birth that we may be prone to certain diseases, and this is particularly true if you're African American. If you are African American, there are health risks you should be aware of.
Cardiovascular disease, obesity, hypertension, those are the diseases that African Americans suffer from.
American Heart Association finds African Americans are disproportionately affected by obesity. Among non-Hispanic blacks aged 20 and older, 63% of men and 77% of women are overweight or obese. But why?
A combination of reasons. One, there's clearly a genetic risk, not only for obesity in African Americans, but and hypertension in African Americans, but also for diabetes.
And getting to the doctor isn't always easy.
Try to find transportation, someone to drive me or to pay them to drive me to the health department or catch the bus.
Access to health care is important in the Newtown community, and that's going to improve with the internal medicine residency coming.
Young mother Shavia lives here in Newtown with her son, and she says that having the presence of Sarasota Memorial right here in the neighborhood is going to make a big difference for her and her baby.
I think that's wonderful. In a community like this, we really do need a health clinic because it's more efficient for us.
Access to healthy fruits and vegetables, not easy, and then access to good food other than fast food, Popeyes, McDonald's.
Shafia Dove says she tries to stay healthy.
Exercise, walking, anything, like eating right, drinking a lot of water.
But people, says Dove, need more support with things like red tape and paperwork for insurance. And Dr. Washington Hill of the Florida Department of Health in Sarasota County says there is one more barrier.
It's also difficult because poverty plays a role in all of this.
Sarasota Memorial Internal Medicine Practice at Newtown, says Dr. Hill, is the much-needed addition to help the community.
Yeah, they were talking about it. They're really looking forward to having that open this morning. Something we might not think about then in trying to stay healthy that maybe you didn't include in your story there, Alex.
Yeah, the one thing that's really going to help people too is if this opens up to bring in other cultures when it comes to physicians. Because one thing that I know that I possibly take for granted and that many of my friends do is that when we go to the physician, very often, in fact most of the time, we're going to see somebody that looks like us. So I think that this is something we have to be a little bit more sensitive of and just, you know, open up the conversation and try to make people have a comfort level.
Okay, good tip. Thank you, Alex. Now over to Bob for another look at our weather tonight. Bob?
Well, Scott, the weather has been nice and warm at times. Get a look at this photo that was sent over the weekend. Captain Scott Moore on the left, his daughter Kelly, and some of their grandchildren, his grandchildren, are right there having some fun, catching some fish on the surf. Saw a video, too. I think they caught some redfish and some whiting, it looks like. Lakewood Ranch webcam showing a lot of clouds around earlier today, but then those clouds kind of depart and move on toward the west. It looks like skies are generally fair right now for sunset, which is not too far off, and we're looking for fair skies tonight. And looks like that'll be the case with some fog forming late tonight. That fog will be patchy, but it will be thick in some areas, especially inland areas, throughout the morning hours. Right now, no rain around here. There is a few sprinkles earlier down to our south, but really all in all, quiet weather, a quiet evening again tonight. As far as our current conditions go, Sarasota Bradenton Airport at 77 degrees, a few clouds in Bradenton and Venice at 76 degrees, 78 now in Bradenton. Our high today, it once again managed to get well above average into the upper 70s. 71 is our normal. The record, though, 82. We were just 3 degrees shy of that record at 79. 82, the record set back in 1947. This morning's low was 61 degrees. No rainfall to report, but I think we are going to add to this monthly total by Sunday and into Monday as a result of a storm system headed our way. So tonight, look for just a few clouds. Temperatures staying warm, low 60s, some patchy fog forming, and then another nice day tomorrow with quite a bit of sunshine throughout most of the day. We'll see some clouds now and again, and at least we're not seeing this. This is that nasty kind of winter weather. I'd much rather have snow than this. The treacherous driving conditions in this area in the pink, that's all freezing rain, sleet, heading off all the way through Michigan now near Detroit and near Grand Rapids, stretching up into Wisconsin and northern Iowa and into Minnesota tonight. That ice storm is causing all sorts of headaches. It did so over the weekend over the central U.S., and now those winter weather advisories and warnings are in effect all across parts of the mid to upper Mississippi Valley right now, stretching all the way down and to near Omaha, where still ice on the roads there causing treacherous driving conditions and power outages. 40 in Boston, nice there. New York, 38, 34 in Toronto. It's 33 in Rapid City, Denver at 34 degrees. Temperatures not extreme at all, and 66 in Dallas, 49 in Oklahoma City. I'd like to see some colder air around, especially up north. That would cause that freezing rain to be snow instead of that nasty ice. And 71 now in Atlanta, it's 75 in New Orleans. Well, the Futurecast is continuing to show this area of high pressure not moving much. On Tuesday, Wednesday, it starts to slip off a little bit, but still comes back and gains control on Thursday. So look for similar conditions to be played out all the way through much of this week. And then we have a transition coming up over the weekend as a storm system nears the area. Northeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet. There'll be a light chop on the bays and inland waters. With this next front, by the way, we're not anticipating a big drop in temperatures, maybe getting back to more seasonal averages by Monday. 76 for beaches. Tomorrow should be another nice day, and water temperature 66 typically this time of year. The water temperature right around 60 in the upper 50s as well. Low tide 9:47 for Sarasota Bay. Sunset just before 6. Sunrise will be at 7:21 tonight. A little low temperatures, mild, partly cloudy skies, a little bit of patchy fog. East winds at 5. For tomorrow, some sunshine and mixed with some clouds at times. A high of 79 degrees. I mentioned that rain chance really not coming into play until Saturday. That's just a slight chance, and then better chances come Sunday and Monday. Scott.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. Right now we're seeing traffic backed up on State Road 70 right near I-75 interchange in Manatee County. And as you can see, the northbound lanes of I-75 in that area go slow going at this hour as well. All U.S. financial markets are closed today due to the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, but 2017 so far is looking promising for tech stocks. While the Dow only flirts with new records, the NASDAQ continues to hit new record highs. Its rally is being led by 4 major tech companies collectively known as FANG. That's Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. Shares of Facebook are up nearly 12% of the first 2 weeks of the year. Amazon and Netflix are up more than 8%, and Google shares have gained 5% so far. Tech investors are now focusing on potential positives in a Trump administration, like possible corporate-friendly tax reforms. While one circus is closing its doors, another is going up for sale. The Big Apple Circus putting its assets up for auction. The company filed for bankruptcy in November, with debts amounting to more than $8 million against assets of $3 million in its Chapter 11 filing. The Big Apple Circus began in 1977 and staged more than 300 shows a year at its height. The court-ordered auction is expected to be held February 7th. Stay with us. Entertainment news is next.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local boys and girls clubs. Great futures start here.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sunsplash paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s. Don't miss the Luxury by the Bay event, Saturday, January 21st from noon till 4 p.m. at Harbor Isle. Water ski show, luxury cars, wine tasting, model home tours, and more.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions Now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
Get the new year off to a great start with safety and peace of mind. Subaru was named the 2016 Best Overall Brand, Most Trusted, and Best Performance Brand by Kelley Blue Book. And ALG named Subaru its top mainstream brand for residual value for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Colombian singer Shakira wins a Crystal Award at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The performer was recognized in Switzerland yesterday for her leadership in advancing early childhood education. Shakira is a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and the founder of an organization that works to provide education to underprivileged children in Colombia. This was the 23rd annual Crystal Award ceremony. This wedding news is fantastic. A spokeswoman for Kate Mara confirms the actress and her Fantastic Four co-star Jamie Bell are now engaged. Mara has also appeared in such films as Brokeback Mountain and The Martian, and in the Netflix series House of Cards. Bell is known for such movies as The Adventures of Tintin and Snowpiercer. The actors have been dating since 2015. That's the year Fantastic Four came out. The NASA drama Hidden Figures still taking off at the box office. The film has been #1 for 2 straight weeks now. It's a tale about African-American mathematicians in the 1960s space race. The movie beat out the Star Wars hit Rogue One and the Oscar favorite La La Land, as well as the supernatural thriller The Bye-Bye Man.
Here is something none of my predecessors ever got a chance to say. Welcome to the White House, the World Series champion, Chicago Cubs.
All smiles and celebration at the White House today. President Obama welcoming the Cubs. For the Cubs, who won their first World Series title in more than a century last season, it was a dream come true. The president said his wife, First Lady Michelle Obama, is a lifelong Cubs fan who watched games with her dad as a child after school. The team presented the president with gifts, including jerseys and an autographed W for Win flag. That's awesome. Of course, the president being from Chicago, it was a little awkward because he, of course, is a White Sox fan from the South Side, but they all got along today, that's for sure. And we'll be right back with more news.
Our community has its struggles. The fact is, people have less than they did just a few years ago, and sadly, the need becomes more profound every day. Season of Sharing provides funds to help individuals and families in need, ensuring they will not end up homeless and without a roof over their heads. Together, providing a helping hand and making a difference. Season of Sharing. Give today at cfsarasota.org.